in everyday life. With a speech titled Positivity Hacks, 3 Ways to Snap into a Good Mood When You Hate Everyone. Please join me in welcoming Renee Rosenberg.
Do you ever find that you have a zillion things to do sometimes, and really all you want to do is crawl under the covers? Madam Toastmasters, SEC Rough Riders, and welcome guests. There are 6,000 thoughts that run through our brains on a daily basis. 6,000. How many of those, what percentage of those do you think are negative?
80.
Anyone got a guess?
90.
90.
85.
99. Whoa, yeah, negativity really sits strong with us, doesn't it? The answer really is, according to research, but not in this room, is 75%. 75% of the thoughts that run through our brain on a daily basis are negative. So we're in a constant struggle all the time with negativity and positivity. Sometimes circumstances happen to us that we can't help. They just happen. They're out of our control. Sometimes we actually are responsible for the circumstances that cause our negativity. Albert Ellis called the concerns that we have in our thoughts absolutist thinking. The shoulda, woulda, couldas. The shoulda, woulda, couldas. You know, I should have done this. I could have done this. I would have done this. I should have not eaten that piece of pizza. Actually, the second piece. I should have not eaten the second piece of pizza because then I would have fit into my new dress and then I could have looked really good on New Year's. Now maybe I can't wear it because of my shoulda, woulda, coulda. The famous coulda that I just always remember that has influenced my life was the one from On the Waterfront. I could have been a contender. Now I'm just a bum. Some of you remember that? Marlon Brando. I'm not a good Marlon Brando impersonator, but it's powerful. It's powerful. The regrets that we have, the negative feelings that come up, the negative thoughts that swim around in our brain, they're with us all the time. We say 75% according to research. You say, I heard someone say 99. My gosh, that means all 6,000 or almost 6,000 of those thoughts would be negative. It's not all that bad, really. But it is a struggle. We struggle all the time between negative and positive thinking. There's a story that I'd like to tell about an old Cherokee man, a grandfather, and his grandson. This story, I loved it so much, I actually put it in my book. It's about the battle that we go and we challenge ourselves and that is inside of us all the time. Grandson, there's a battle of 2 wolves inside of us. One is good, full of joy and happiness and peace and good positive thoughts. The other is evil, bad, mean, bitter, resentful, full of self-pity and ego. And they're battling all the time inside of us, son. Granddad, which one will win? The old man's simple answer, the one you feed, the one you feed. I ask you, which one do you feed? Which one of these wolves, the good wolf or the bad wolf? We're in constant struggle all the time with this. And not only are we in struggle, but the whole culture is telling us, look at the negativity, enjoy the negativity. The other day, I saw a movie, Birdman. Anyone see that? Oh my gosh. Everybody there is feeding their negative wolf. They're feeding it so much that they were running out of food. They just kept feeding negativity into themselves. We watch things on television. We watch Homeland. We watch House of Cards. Negative. People unhappy. People going through all kinds of stress and duress. And we enjoy watching this. What is happening to us? There's a positivity movement that's happening. And the positivity movement is telling us it's better to be positive. We live longer. We're healthier. We look better. We're more alert. Our minds are clearer. We're more successful. All of that if we're positive. And yet, We still think in this room up to 99% of our thoughts are negative. What is happening and how can we deal with this? There was an article the other day of a report from a Russian website about the news, and this website decided that they were going to only report good news for one day. What do you think happened? They lost 2/3 of their readership. And then what do you think they did the next day?
They went out.
Back to the bad news again. Bad news sells, bad news sells. So what are we going to do? How do we defend ourselves and keep ourselves positive and deal with this negativity? So I've come up with 3 snapback hacks, which are short little interventions. They're quick, they're short, and they help you to actually move your thinking from negative to positive. And I'm going to demonstrate the first one, which is balloon breathing, and I'm going to demonstrate it with a love story. I love my house. I love my house. This is my house in Rockaway. I love it. It's a beautiful house. It's a Victorian house, and I've lived there my whole life. My brother wants to sell my house because he's half owner. We half own it together. It's not all my house, but I want it to be my house because I love it. I love it so much. And he wants to sell it and throw it down. So we've been in contention for over 6 years. We've been in litigation for 6 years. And finally, in September, we came to a contract and a closing in September, and it was canceled. The closing was in October. It was canceled. It was in November. It was canceled. It was in December. It was canceled, canceled, canceled. I was out of control. Negativity was swimming in my brain. I was thinking of things I wanted to do to him that I can't repeat here. Things I want to say to him that I can't repeat here. I was just losing it. And friends said to me, Renee, you're always very positive. Those of you who know me, I usually am. They said, smile. That didn't help. They said, breathe deep. Let me tell you something. You can't breathe deep when you're under stress like that. You can't breathe deep when you've got negativity swimming around in your brain and you want to kill someone. You can't do it. It just doesn't work. That's the irony of positive thinking. It doesn't work when you're so upset. So I pulled out my little balloon and I started to blow into it. Filled up my lungs, filled up my heart, and I was able to relax. I was able to feel peace. I actually lost my anger toward my brother. I didn't want to kill him anymore. I started to feel sorry for him. Wow, that's pretty powerful, just by blowing into a balloon. So I gave you each a balloon. I think you all should have one. Okay, good catch. And what I invite you to do is just, now I don't ask you to blow it up, not yet. Don't blow it up because we're not about blowing it up. We're about blowing into it because we want to feel it. We want to feel what it's doing to us. So very slowly, just take one deep breath and blow slowly into it and then just stop and let it go. You hear that great noise? We're only doing this once now, but I invite you to try this 3 times when you go home, when you walk out of the room, and take more balloons. I have plenty with me if you need more than one. Some of you might. And try doing this 3 times. And see, when you have a negative feeling, how this can stop that feeling because you're focusing on the balloon, you're focusing on this breath. And you're not just telling yourself you're doing something and taking a small action. The next intervention and snapback hack is vibrating cheeks or humming. We can feel that hum. We can feel the vibration. And this too can calm us down and help us to be more positive. I suggest that you try this on the subway or on the streets when you go outside. I hummed all the way here today. And it really helped me to go through the crowds. And the third snapback hack is singing. My favorite song, Singing in the Rain. Singing in the Rain. So, singing in the rain, what a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. Whenever I get upset, whenever I feel down and I feel negative and things are bothering me, I just start to sing my favorite song, and all I need is one phrase. I don't have to know the whole thing even, because I can't even remember the whole thing, but I know a little bit. So I invite you, when you walk out of here today, to think, if I have some negativity in the coming year, if there's something I want to deal with, and I haven't been able to, how can I do that? I invite you to think of these 3 snapback hacks: singing, blowing the balloon, and humming. And if you want, you can do them all together. Singing in the rain. And cheer yourself up. Happy New Year, everyone.